Daniel chapter number 3. Let us read verse 13 up to verse number 25. If you're there, say amen.
Amen.
Let us read. Then Nebuchadnezzar, in his rage and fury, commanded to bring Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Then they brought these men before the king. Nebuchadnezzar spake and said unto them, Is it true, O Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? Do not ye serve my gods, or worship the golden image which I have set up? Now if ye be ready, that at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the image which I have made. Well, but if ye worship not, ye shall be cast the same hour in the midst of the burning fire furnace. And who is that God that shall deliver you out of my hands? Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this manner. If it be so, our God whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fire furnace, and he will deliver us out of thine hand, O king. But if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. Then was Nebuchadnezzar full of fury, and the form of his visage was changed against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Therefore he spake and commanded that they should heat the furnace 7 times more than it won't be heated. And he commanded the most mighty men, are you with me? The most mighty men that were in his army to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and to cast them into the burning fire furnace. Then these men were bound in their coats, their hosen, and their hats, and their other garments, and were cast into the midst of the burning fire furnace. Therefore, because the king's commandment was urgent, and the furnace exceeding hot, the flame of the fire slew those men, the most mighty men. Are you with me? That took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Nadamay pa tuloy yung mga malalaki ang katawan ng panahon na yun. Nasulog tuloy sila. They died early. Verse 23. And these 3 men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down bound into the midst of the burning fire furnace. Then Nebuchadnezzar the king was astonied, and rose up in haste, and spake and said unto his counselors, Did not we cast 3 men bound in the midst of the fire? They answered and said unto the king, True, O king. He answered and said, Lo, I see 4 men loose, walking in the midst of the fire, and they have no hurt, and the form of the 4th is like the Son of God. Let us continue reading. Then Nebuchadnezzar came near to the mouth of the burning fire furnace, and spake and said, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, ye servants of the Most High God, come forth and come hither. Then Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came forth of the midst of the fire. And the princes, governors, captains, and king's counselors being gathered together, so these men, upon whose bodies the fire had no power, nor was an hair of their head singed, neither were their coats changed, nor the smell of fire had passed on them. Then Nebuchadnezzar spake and said, Blessed be the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who hath sent his angel, and delivered his servants that trusted in him, and have changed the king's word, and yielded their bodies that they might not serve nor worship any god, except their own God. Therefore I make a decree that every people, nation, and language which speak anything amiss against the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego shall be cut in pieces, and their houses shall be made a dunghill, because there is no other God that can deliver after this sort. Then the king promoted Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the province of Babylon. We know the story here. The king believes in many gods. He even questioned them.
who is this God that can deliver you out of my hand? So hindi mo talaga problema. Actually, we are now in a country where, you know, the words of our president is always being mentioned in the media. No, I will not be talking about him, but he's not a pastor. Are you with me? Hello? I mean, you just obey the rules, you live a righteous life, be a light, because no matter what he says, what matters is how you show your God in your life. Are you with me? Kung paano, katulad nito, si Nebuchadnezzar kung ano-ano pinagsasabi. Okay? But he changed him because of the power of the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Are you with me? Okay. Oo, kaya wag ko kayong magkakasali kasi this morning there's a person who even messaged me and he's a preacher. He's a preacher. He was asking me why Duterte spoke of these things and these things. Sabi ko, just let him. He's been doing that ever since. We cannot change him. What we can do is we show our God to him. Are you with me, Christians? Hello? Huwag kayong magpa-apekto sa napapanood nyo sa palabas. Huwag kayong magpa-apekto sa media. Matagal na ho ganyan yan. Huwag niyong hayaan ang Christian life ninyo masira dahil po doon sa mga napapanood natin and would lead you to a rebellious heart against the government. Okay? So just pray because we're commanded to pray for our leaders. Amen? Yeah. But let's go back to the story. So there was a leader, there was a king na hindi ho naniniwala sa Diyos ni Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And you can find them trusting their Lord, si Shadrach, Meshach, at Abednego, nagtitiwala sa Panginoon hanggang sa dulo. So, I mean, brethren, we have to know if an experience is or a belief is real or not. That's why we have our Bible. Kasi miracles are being defined by different religions. When I studied the doctrines of the Catholic churches, one of the signs that for you to be a saint is to have a stigmata. A stigmata is a miracle for them, of which the sufferings of the Lord, will be experienced by someone that is becoming a saint. So the bloods will come out of your hands and on your, just like the blood of Christ, yung suffering ni Christ, pag maging partakers ka doon, dudugo din yung kamay mo. That for them is a miracle. Are you with me? That's not a miracle. Okay? Hindi pag if an image would sweat blood or have tears of blood, it's not a miracle. O pintura lang 'yon. Okay? At kung ano man yan, it is not really miracle. Okay po? So you have to know your Bible para hindi ho kayo mabulag. Baka mamaya may managinip sa inyo, tapos kausapin kayo, you will dream of someone who wears a robe of white, and they will speak to you some numbers, and you will bet it in the lottery. Hindi ho si Lord yan. Okay ho? Kakapangarap nyo kasing magloto, kaya napanaginipan nyo yan. Are you with me? Hello? But listen to this. I believe in God's miracle. Mahiwaga hong maghimala ang Panginoon. Are you with me, Christians? God is really doing miracles for His children. And may I tell you, it is amazing. It is amazing to experience a miracle from your God. Pero, how can I define if it's a miracle or something just that, nagkataon lang? Baka biglaan lang. Okay po? We can define miracles by the story that we have read. Makikita po natin ang milagro ng Diyos, ang pagkilos ng Diyos, when God makes a miracle, when God does something or does something, it is always for His children's protection. Are you with me? His presence is always be seen in His miracle. Makakakita po tayo ng pagkilos ng Panginoon sa kanyang mga anak. And individually, mamamangha po kayo. I can name some. That's why every Wednesday we're here, we're sharing God's blessing, and you can hear amazing stories of God's people experiencing their God. Listen, it's one thing to listen to a testimony and another thing to experience it. Iba yung naramdaman mo. Iba yung alam mo na ang Diyos ang kumilos sa pag-aaral mo. Ang Diyos ang kumilos sa pamilya mo. Ang Diyos ang kumilos sa problema mo. At maniwala ho kayo, kakaiba. I remember the times when God is providing our needs as a church. Can you imagine there was one time that I was just walking and we really don't have enough money to pay our rent and somebody would give you 7,000 pesos? Just how the ravens were used to feed Elijah. Hello, are you with me? A cult member gave me 7,000. I didn't even ask for it. Hindi ako humingi sa kanya. Wala ko, pakipag-pray niyo po. Hindi nga Kristiyano eh. I did not go to her and I asked her, please pray for our church. We don't have money to pay the rent. Hello, are you with me? I was just walking and then he called me, Pastor, this is for you. Huh? Sabi ko, what's that? And then I opened it, 7,000. Sabi ko, kulang na kulang yung pambayad natin sa rent. No, that was years ago, 4 years ago. And there are so many ways God made a miracle. We have a December program. We don't have gifts for the kids. And a family that should be going to Burma went to the Philippines. Hello, it was not planned. Nagulat, magpapasko na, wala tayong pagregalo sa mga bata. We usually do it. We buy stuff for the kids on December. But can you imagine before December, the Blankies came and why are you here? I told them, ito na nangyari, papunta kami ng Burma. And all of the chocolates and gifts were given to the Filipino kids.
Amen.
I mean, more than the plans of man is the divine provision of God.
Amen.
That's how God amazingly works for His people. And individually, listen Christian, you can name amazing things that God has done to your life. When you got saved, when He changed your life, when He provided your needs, when He protected you, and when He did amazing, and there are still more as long as you live. Habang buhay ka pa, pwede ba? Pastor, bakit ako wala niyan? Why I don't understand what you're talking about? I tell you, stay, remain faithful, and you see what I'm talking about. Yeah. Manatili kang matapat at makikita mo anong ibig ko sabihin. God still does miracles. God still intervenes to His people. But how can I know if it's really God who did it? Let us see what happened. Kasi we always want the last part of the story. Gusto lang natin yung gano'n na parang magic lang lahat. Lord, kung paano mo pinadala yung sobre noon, sana may bigla na lang. And here you are, walking around trying to find someone who has an envelope with 7,000. Hello? That's not like that. Hindi mo ganon. Nakarinig ka ng blessing ng iba, ginaya mo rin, ang hinanap mo na yung doon sa last na dulo. Lord, ayoko ng mga naunang story. Gusto ko yung huli na. Yung may provision na. Hindi po ganon ang pagkilos ng Panginoon. If you want to see here, if you want to be thrown in the fire and will not be burned, you have to study that there are things happen before it. Kailangan makita nyo naman na may ginawa ho yung tatlong yan. Kaya, di ba, lagi kong kinikwento sa inyo yung sa Australia, that was 20 years ago, I think. But there was a guy in Australia who jumped in the lion's den and was eaten by the lions. Because he was trying to have the miracle of Daniel. But he forgot what the words of Darius was. Daniel, did the Lord that thou served continually was able to deliver you from the lions? Tinanong niya, yung bang pinaglilingkuran mo ng matapat, may decree yun. So para hindi ho tayo mamalian at individually ma-experience natin ang milagro ng Panginoon, experiencing God's miracles. Number one, you have to see that before that, there are people who made a difference. Hello? There are people who made a difference. Daniel chapter 3 verse 12. Daniel chapter 3 verse 12. Are you there? If you're there, say amen. Ready, go. There are certain Jews whom thou hast set over the affairs of the province of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These men, there are so many Jews, but there are certain people. Hello, are you with me? They are known of what they do. Gusto mo ng milagro sa Panginoon, pero wala kang pagkakaiba sa iba. You want God to work in your life, but there's no difference at all in your life to the others. These men experienced a terrible wonder from God because at first they made a difference. When all are bowing down to the gods, they don't. Are you with me? When all were living in sin, they did not. When all compromised, they remained faithful. And they did not compromise. They made a difference. Jude 22. Jude 22. Jude 22. Wala akong chapter in Jude. It's a small book. And on verse 22, you can find Jude 22. Hello? Ready, read. And of some have compassion, making a difference. Yung awa natin sa taong hindi ligtas, isa ho yan sa nagiging pagkakaiba natin. But there are so many Christians who claim, there are so many people who claim to be Christian in this earth. Are you with me? What makes a difference? True compassion, genuine heart for the unbelievers. Are you with me? Hello? What is our difference? What is our difference? If there is no difference at all, then don't expect God to do wonders in your life. Are you with me? Christianity's influence is really powerful. It will make a difference. Itong tatlong ito, kumilos ang Panginoon sa buhay nila. Itong tatlong ito, makikita natin, we can really understand that this is God working because these people made a difference. Are you with me? Hindi yung wala kang pagkakaiba. Sa mga kasamahan mo sa trabaho, wala kang pagkakaiba. Kaya sometimes, listen, Christians, you will be persecuted, you will be mocked because you're doing something that is different from the others. Huwag naman sana, and this is which is worse. You're different because you're doing things that are bad. Huwag naman yung gano'n, yung iba ka. Bakit? Ikaw yung Kristiyano, malakas magmura. Iba ka, ikaw yung Kristiyano naninigarilyo. Iba ka, ikaw yung Kristiyano, ganito ang ginagawa. Mas malala naman po yun. Are you with me? It is the worst. When the people should have a godly impact, they are the ones who are doing things that are not right. Mas nakakahiya. Are you with me, Christians? Hello? But again, we see the typical people, typical people in your work, typical people in your school, in the family, and what should be the difference? Your love and faithfulness to your Lord is the one that will make an impact. Kaya nga minsan mga kapatid, tatawanan ka talaga. Kasi maayos kang manamit, yung mga kasama mo, hindi. Are you with me? Maayos kang magsalita, yung mga kasama mo, hindi. Maayos ka sa trabaho, matapat ka, yung mga kasama mo, hindi. Mga kapatid, but it's worth it. Because in those areas where you live a godly life in the midst of a crooked generation, God sees that. Hello! For His eyes are above the righteous. Di nakatingin sa iyo ang Panginoon. Di kahit tawanan ka, siya naman ang maghihimala sa iyo. The moment they did not kneel down, they look crazy. Ano itong tatlong ito ang iyayabang? Lahat nakaluhod. Everybody bows. Everybody bow down to the image. Hindi sila kasali. Tinawanan sila. Yan ang ayaw natin minsan, kaya hindi tayo iba. That is what we do not like. That's why we don't make a difference. Hello? We go with the crowd. This worldly Christianity is now accepting LGBT community. I just read one time in the news that there is a group of Christians who made a big banner, "We understand the LGBT community." Sorry. Can you imagine that? And this LGBT community are wearing underwears in public without any clothes, and then lahat ng kababuyan makikita ng mga bata. Sa parada pa lang nila. Meron na nga sa Pilipinas eh. There was a great gay pride parade last time. Are you with me? And there was somebody preaching against them. Na hindi ko alam kung tama yung pinagagawa ng isa, pero mas nakakahiya, tinatawanan. I even saw a preacher in America preaching in the gay parade and he was mocked and minumura siya, binibigyan siya ng mga bastos na senyales ng kamay. I mean, everything, and then they mock him. Why? He's making a difference. Christian, listen to this. How about you in your work? How about you in your school? How about you in your family? Daniel and his friends, if you will read all of Daniel, you can find that this man made a difference. Do you remember one time when Nebuchadnezzar dreamed a dream and he cannot understand the dream? And how in the world would somebody ask you of a dream and an interpretation? What's the people were telling Nebuchadnezzar, just let us know the dream and we will give the interpretation. Nebuchadnezzar said, if you're not crook, show me my dream. Tell me what I dream. And then, nobody in the world can do that, king. He said, sino sasabi mo sa inyo na ganyan? Walang ganyan. Sabihin niyo yung panaginip, i-interpret namin. Hindi, kailangan ko yung taong sasabihin ko ulit na panaginipan ko. Sabi nila, walang ganyan. But there was somebody who knew it. There was someone who was praying, Lord, let me make a difference. Lord, show me the dream of the king. Lord, help me. And He did help him. Are you with me? Kasi iba siya. Kaya yun ang ibig ko sabihin, meron ka bang pagkakaiba sa mga kasamahan mo sa trabaho? May pagkakaiba ka sa mga kaklase mo? May pagkakaiba ka ba sa mga kapatira? May pagkakaiba ka ba sa iyong pamilya? These people had a difference and they made a difference. There were certain men. Sa trabaho makikita ka. Bakit yung mga yan laging wala dito pag linggo? Nasa church yan. Are you with me? Bakit yung mga yan pagdating sa inuman, sa gimikan, bakit wala? Ang nakakahiya, listen Christian, young people, listen to this. Baka mamaya sa inuman at sa kalukuhan at sa outing, andun ka. Hello? Hello, Christians? Baka mamaya kasama ka ng mga kaklase mo, baka mamaya kasama ka ng mga kasamahan mo. Nakakalungkot, you should be making a difference. Hello, I believe in God's miracle. God's miracles are wonderful. But listen, at first you have to see that these people experienced the miracle because they made a difference. Are you with me? Number two, let us consider their denial. Chapter 1, verse number 8. Daniel chapter 1, verse number 8. Daniel chapter 1, verse number 8. Are you there? Ready? Go. But Daniel purposed in his heart that he would not defile himself with the portion of the king's meat, nor with the wine which he drank. Therefore he requested of the prince of the eunuchs that he might not defile himself. Verse number 12. Verse number 12. Prove thy servants. Are you with me? I beseech thee 10 days, and let them give us pulse to eat, that are beans, and water to drink. Then let our countenances be looked upon before thee, and the countenance of the children that eat of the portion of the king's meat. And as thou seest, deal with thy servant. So he consented to them in this matter, and proved them 10 days. Are you there? Verse 15, read. At the end of 10 days, their countenances appeared fairer and fatter in flesh than all the children which did eat the portion of the king's meat. Sabi sa inyo, maggulay kayo. They are just eating beans and water. But when the time comes that they will be checked, they are fatter, they are more they are healthier, they are stronger. And what do I mean by this? They deny themselves of things that are not for them. Are you with me? Hello? Now, hindi porket nagda-diet ka ngayon, ginagaya mo na si Shadrach, Meshach at Abednego, tsaka si Daniel. Kaya nga ako nagda-diet eh. Kasi denial, hindi, nagpapapayat ka siguro. Pero sila hindi. It's not the reason why. It is because of the pagan practice of those times. They want to deny themselves of things that are not right for them. Christians, listen to this. Accept the truth that not all are expedient for us. Sabi ng Apostol Pablo, all things are lawful for me, but not all things are expedient. Lahat ng mga bagay ligtas na tayo pero hindi lahat kailangan ginagawa natin. May mga bagay na dapat i-deny natin yung sarili natin. They denied food, they denied some friends, and they denied their own freedom. Why? To make a difference. Hello? Gusto mong kumilos ang Panginoon sa'yo, ayaw mo namang kumilos. You want God to move in your life, but you don't want to move in your life. Gusto mo, Lord, kumilos ka sa buhay ko, kumilos ka sa buhay mo. Tanong, ikaw, kumikilos ba?
Amen.
Meron ka bang mga nilalayuan? Meron ka bang mga itinitigil? Meron ka bang mga binibitawan? Are you denying something? Ang dami kayong tukso na pwedeng pumasok sa atin. Ang dami tayong pwedeng magawa na hindi masaya ang Diyos. Ang tanong, lumalaban ka ba? Kaya tayo tigang sa milagro. Kaya tayo tigang sa himala. Sayang yung mga amazing benefits. Hello? Yung mga bagay sa mundong ito, pag mga nakakuha tayo ng benepisyo, gaganda how much more pag ang Panginoon na nagbe-benefit sa atin? It is a different thing. It is so amazing. Don't waste your short life. It is good to live this short life experiencing tremendous and amazing works of God. Di ba sinabi ko na sa inyo before, living your life your own way is a waste. Pag ang buhay mo, lagi na lang yung nakukuha mo dahil magaling ka, dahil pinilit mo, dahil ginapang mo, dahil nagpagod ka, walang mangyayari. Ang sarap-sarap na yes, nagtratrabaho ka, yes, kumikilos ka, pero alam mo that beyond your strength, beyond your power, beyond your skills, beyond your ability, beyond your wisdom, is the work of God. The working of God in your life. Lord, it is not me. Lord, I am really nothing. It was you. Marami kaya tayo. Listen to this. If you can still believe that you can do all things because of your own power, you're deceiving yourself. There are so many areas in our life that we cannot do it alone by ourselves.
Amen.
Even in my family alone, there are certain things that I am in control with. There are certain things that I am the boss in my family. But listen to this. Not all the areas of my family life ay kaya ko lang is controlled by me. There are many things in the life of my son, in the life of my wife, in the life of my youngest son that I know God alone can do wonders. And if I am not doing it, I am not making a difference, if I will not deny myself of many things, yung kaya ko lang ang magagawa ko. All I can see is what all I can do. Are you with me? But if I will let God to move in my life, if I will really do what He pleases, I tell you, I can see Him doing wonders to my family that I cannot do alone by myself. Are you with me? Just try to see the strength of Peter and the Lord. When he was at the sea, trying to go back fishing. A good fisherman that caught nothing. For whole day and whole night, working. I am a good fisherman, and no fish at all. And when Christ was there are so many mistakes. Maganda o gaga sa dami. No? Are you with me? It is just Christ showing Peter what he can really do. Nothing! That's what we can really do by ourselves. Nothing! Humble yourself before God and say, Lord, I cannot make it alone. I cannot make it alone in my work. I cannot make it alone in my family. You can do more than me. Let me please you. Are you with me? Hello? Denial. Tinanggihan. Meron kang dapat tanggihan. Christians, as a child of God, there are things that you should deny yourself from. Hello? And that's what we call death while being alive. Except a corn of wheat fall into the ground and die, it abideth alone. But if it die, it bringeth forth much fruit. Are you with me? Hello? He that findeth his life shall lose it. He that loseth his life for my sake, the same shall find it. The same shall find it. It's good to reminisce some miracles from the Lord. And I can prove to you, and you can prove it by yourself. According to the Bible, and as you please the Lord. Ang daming mga bagay. I remember the time when I was asked by my parents to work to help my siblings for them to eat. I was third year at Bible college. My father said, quit Bible school, you work. You work for us. You help me. And I remember that time, Lord, if I will work, I can help but only one. And I have 8 siblings. But Lord, if I will work for you, you can help my family. No matter how would they define what I do, I will do it for your glory and honor.
Amen.
And that's what I did. And God did what He can. Are you with me?
Amen.
Sana ganun ho lagi ang pag-iisip natin. Na pag meron kang kayang gawin, mas may kayang gawin ng Diyos.
Amen.
Kaya kung meron kang dapat gawin, gawin mo yung kalooban niya. Huwag mong pagurin yung sarili mo, parang binubuhat mo ang mundo. Are you with me? Sino ba yun? Was it Atlas? Diba? He was carrying the world. Don't carry the world. Serve the Lord. Serve the Lord because God can carry the world not even using His hands. Are you with me?
Right.
Yung nagpapatakbo sa universe, yan ang Diyos mo. Kaya paglingkuran mo siya, magtapat ka sa Kanya, huwag mong ipagpalit ang worship, huwag mong ipagpalit ang gawain ng Panginoon, huwag mong ipagpalit ang Diyos mo. At ipapakita rin sa iyo ng Diyos na meron siyang kaya gawin na hindi mo kaya. Hello? The denials that they made, and last, their devotion. They were willing to be different, they were willing to be hated, and listen, they were willing to die. Daniel 3, and before we end, Daniel 3. Hello? Are you there? Verse 17. If it be so. Are you there? Daniel 3:17. If it be so. Our God, whom we serve, is able to deliver us from the burning fire furnace. And He will deliver us out of thine hand, O King. Wow. Verse number 18. But if not. Hello. But if not, be it known unto thee, O King, that we will not serve your gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast. Hello, are you with me?
Amen.
That's devotion. That's commitment. My God can provide my needs while I serve Him. Even if not, I will serve Him. That is commitment. And that is what we lack. That is what this generation lacks. Yan ang kulang sa mga churches ngayon. Yan ang kulang sa mga gawain ngayon. Kumikilos tayo kasi may nakabantay. Kumikilos tayo kasi may pumupuri sa atin. Kumikilos tayo kasi may magandang resulta. Mga kapatid, ang kailangan ng Kristyanismo, ang kailangan ng gawain, ang kailangan ng pamilya natin, ang kailangan ng churches natin, ang kailangan ng mundong ito, mga mananampalataya, nakikilos, gagawin ang kalooban ng Panginoon, kahit wala pa yung balik na pagpapala. The Lord magtatapat ako sa iyo, you can bless me and you can bless me now, I will be faithful. And once the world sees again that kind of faith, I tell you, they can see God working again in their life, community, country, and even in our small families. Gusto mo bang makita mga kamag-anak mo kung gaano makapangyarihan ng Diyos mo? Are you with me? Instead of you trying to always tell them you're a Christian, why don't you let God move in your life? Why? Show to the world, show to your family, show to everybody by serving your God faithfully with or without something in return. And that is real faith. That is genuine faith. Doing what God wants, no matter what the cost is. They are devoted. They are committed. They are dedicated. Those are the people that is actually, just try to imagine, what is the feeling of being inside a fiery furnace, And not even your, nakamedyas ho sila eh. Hindi sila nasunog. Can you imagine that? Na huwag mo nang pangarapin yun sa kanila. At baka maitapon ka pa sa apoy. Pero the experience itself, that knowing God was working in your life. And I can prove to you, and some Christian can prove to you that in the midst of trials and problems, it was amazing seeing God providing their needs. Seeing God wonderfully working. Seeing God providing. Seeing God protecting. How many of us here who have experienced fiery trials, and there you are right now. The trials are gone. The problems are gone. And you're still there.
Amen.
You know why? God was there all along.
Amen.
Kasi nato ng Diyos, tinulungan ka. Tapos ngayon susukuan mo pa siya. Are you with me?
Amen.
So kung hindi ko pa na-experience, I tell you again, remain, be faithful, and stay and do what God wants. And you will see what I tell you. You will know what I'm preaching. And you will enjoy God doing miracles in your life. They made a difference. They had some denials. And they were devoted. And so, they enjoyed, they experienced the wonderful miracles of the God they serve. Amen? Tumayo po tayo lahat.